December, I found running showers and initial plot. Enough time to know nothing at all.
Welcome back to another episode of the Real Talk Podcast. I haven't done this in a while, I feel like. At least really had some one-on-one FaceTime. I just had a lot going on, busy schedule, a lot mentally, and I feel like this podcast has taken a back seat somewhat, and I've been through a lot of periods or just a long journey where I felt like I didn't know what to say, or I felt like I didn't I just felt like I didn't have a voice yet, or not. I wouldn't even say voice, but I guess I just didn't really know what to say, or I didn't really have the right words to express what I wanted to talk about, and I just felt like I didn't have anything to talk about, honestly. But obviously I'm back, I've got some things to talk about. I've got some things to say. I think I'm just going to tell a little bit about what I've been up to. So, recently it is summertime, so it is July. It's July 25th. So I'm about to go back to school in like 4 weeks. But yeah, so recently I've been working 2 jobs. So as you know, personal trainer. I got that certification, but if you didn't know, I'm a certified personal trainer as well. But I'm working at a gym, and then also got a second job at an electric company. So I'm working there. So I'm going back and forth, doing a lot of hours weekly, and then still training for track and whatnot. That's like a quick rundown of why I've been so busy. But I also started a track camp, so been doing that every Thursday, Friday, and then that's taken up most of my time, and I haven't even I've been posting short form content, so like reels and whatnot, but when it comes to me sitting down and making YouTube videos and getting back to the podcast and stuff like that, I felt like I had no time, or I just been mad tired and just pushing it off, and like I said, pushing it to a backseat, honestly. But I don't want to do that anymore, and I'm sick of just with this kind of starting stopping, or just pushing it back, and I just want to move, but yeah, that's basically everything that's been going on with me. So let's just get straight into it. So we're gonna title this, I don't even know if I want to put a title on it yet, but probably, but I'll just say I want to talk about the silence. It sounds I don't know if the word is eerie, but the silence, right? Just getting straight into it. Basically what that means is the silence of not hearing anything, the silence, where you're essentially in a spot and place where you feel like you don't know which step to take, and you don't know where you want to be, and you don't hear God's voice, you don't hear anybody's voice. It's just you feel like you're alone, right? And you're in that space. So yeah, the silence. And I guess I was driving one day to work. So I leave to go to the gym because it's in Virginia. So I work with my cousin because he owns the gym. But I leave at 4 a.m. So I try to get there by 5:15 because again it's an hour away. So I'm just driving, right? And it was one of those mornings where your mind just kind of going, but it's good thoughts. You feel like you're just flowing in a steady state. But yeah, I just got this idea of the silence, right? And for a long time, I struggled with figuring out where to move, or at least, let me correct that. I was, for a while, I've been scared to move, right? And then I just had a spark, right? And why I've been scared to move is because the silence. I was scared of the silence, right? And being scared of the silence, it's not like I like stopped doing everything and all of that. That's not the case, right? But the point that I'm trying to make is the silence. I guess I'm trying to think of like saying it in simpler terms. Basically, the silence, it just withheld me from fully going through with whatever it is that I wanted to do, right? And I kept kind of praying, and I'm like, God, you tell me what you want me to do, or I'm not going to move until you essentially tell me to, right? Which isn't a bad route because I'm going to God about it and I'm trying to pray. But where the issue lied is I wasn't even taking a step, you know? It's not that God can't carry me. That's not the case. But I have to at least make an attempt for him to try to carry me, you know? So like I can't again, I it's not that he can't do it, but who am I to essentially not even take an attempt and then he make up the rest that I can't do, right? But yeah, basically that's the position that I've been in. And I was kind of praying about that, but like this summer, I started really trying to put myself in a position more to where I can really see the fruits of my labor and like develop a better future for myself. Because again, I'm going to my senior year now, which is crazy. But going to my senior year, and I wouldn't be in a better position. So when I end school, I can actually see the progress from what I've built and all the things that I've done. Um, and yeah, pretty much that's what I wanted to do. And then kind of getting that second job turned up the gear where it was like, okay, you're gonna have to do this and this, and now you working 45 hours a week, and basically, and then on top of that, trying to pursue track camp, trying to start that side, and then also trying to pursue the content side and stuff that I wanted to do, right? Um, but basically that kicked me into high gear and really snapped me into focus and into the driver's seat, right? But I really wasn't even in the driver's seat, and I'm honestly not, you know. Um, but kind of backtracking slightly, um, yeah, I felt like at first, and not even just this summer, like throughout the school year, right? I had been thinking about the idea of like, God, like you tell me where to go. I don't want to move without your say so. And my whole mentality is again, like I don't want to. I guess I don't want to make the wrong move, and I'm scared to make the wrong move. So I was just praying about it again, which isn't bad at all. But understanding that the idea is all you got to do is move, and that's it. Like as I said, God is gonna carry you, but who are you to not even make an attempt at it and just expect him to do all the work, and just say, oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you everything and write it down. You got to do something first, even if you go the wrong way, he's gonna redirect you, and he's still doing work to put you on the right path. And sometimes the wrong way, and not even sometimes, typically I'll just say sometimes the wrong way can lead you to the right way. All you got to do is move. And when I say kicking myself into high gear starting that second job, it was really one of those moments where I'm like, okay, I need money, I need to build something for myself, and let me really get into high gear. And that was really the turning point where I was like, okay, all I got to do is move. I know what I want for my future, I know where I want to be. Just go. It ain't nothing but work, right? And I feel like I've been like coasting, and I've been in a weird spot. Or not weird spot, but like I've been in a spot where I'm like I'm just floating. I feel good, I've been trying to keep my relationship with God alive, and I feel like I'm doing a decent job at it. Like I think I can always do better, but yeah, like I say, I feel like I've been, moving in a good direction where I'm keeping him in my life and I'm doing what I need to. Grant, again, I can always do better, but yeah, basically, um, really back in keying in more on the silence aspect, right? Um, you don't always know where you're gonna go, right? You don't always know where you want to go, right? And I guess the question here is, how do you even get to where you want to go if you can't even see the path, and if you're not even like fully sure that is what you want to do, you know? And that's the overarching question of this entire podcast, right? Where do you want to go as we start the podcast? And I'm going to restate the questions. It's back now. Like, where do you want to go? How do you want to get there? And who do you want to be, essentially, right? Like, those are the three main questions. But just trying to figure that out, right? And that's the overarching question of the silence. And you know, biggest thing that I learned is, again, you just gotta move. Because constantly, if you keep letting yourself, if you keep getting scared and just kind of begging God to tell you the direction without even taking a step, you're not gonna end up anywhere. Because what happens if you expect God to do all the work for you? Like, you're not really going to get anywhere, you know? Like, and again, it's not to say that God's not going to do the work and he's not already working in the midst, but you have to move physically. You have to take yourself from here to here. And then God can take you where you can't see. You know? But yeah. The silence can seem scary too, you know? Because, again, you don't know where you want to be, but I just feel like you gotta embrace it. That's all it's about, honestly. Like, you gotta embrace the silence at the same time too. You gotta move and you gotta embrace the silence. Like, my biggest thing also, like, going into this year is embracing the silence and being where my feet are. Because what that means is, right, embracing the silence and being where your feet are is, okay, this is the situation I'm in. Embrace the situation, embrace the silence, be where my feet are, and just move. Because in the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of situations that you go through that you can't change in one step. But if you take 10 steps, something can change. All you got to do is move. And, sometimes going backwards looks like moving forward. It all is about perspective. Stop being so scared of not hearing a voice or not hearing God or thinking that he left you, you know? If you really think he left you, is that on you or is that on God? You know? You got to think internally. What am I doing wrong that makes me think that he left? Where am I spiritually? Where am I mentally? Where am I if you think that he left? Because God's never going to leave. The door's always open for you. The bridge is always there. Again, it's all perspective. All you got to do is open your eyes and just see him. All you got to do is take off the headphones, hear him. It takes one little prayer. It takes one little step. And your life can change. And, the whole idea about faith is doing things even when you can't see. Right? And that is the whole idea of the silence. is doing when you can't see and when you can't hear. Because how are you going to know where you want to be if you can't see and you can't hear, you know? Like, how do you know? How do you know? But the way that you know is the more you know him. Because in the end of the day, the more you know him, the more you don't got to stress about anything. The more you just take that step and you just go. The more you're able to relax and move blindly and know that God got you. Don't get me wrong, again, we're human in the end of the day. Like, we stress about things, we worry about things, but don't let your anxiety control you. Don't let that fear stop you from taking that one step. Because as I said, that one step, it may not change everything, but it can change something. Just because you took that one step. You have to show that you're willing to try and willing to make the move in order for that silence to be lifted. And you know, it also tests your grit, tests how bad you want it in the end of the day, you know, like how bad are you willing to move? Or how far are you willing to go even when you can't hear or see what's in front of you? How far? And that's what the silence kind of tests you with. And even in the silence too, it can be, again, scary. It can ask you to, or it can cause you to see a lot of scary things internally or hear a lot of scary things internally, essentially, right? And that being like, oh yeah, if you do this, this is gonna happen, or if you do this, you're gonna fail, or if you do this, you know what I'm saying, the world's gonna end, you know? Things are gonna go wrong. Things are gonna go right. But if you only ever focus on the things that are gonna go wrong, can anything ever go right? Don't let the silence control you. Let the silence energize you. Because, common quote, teacher's silent during the test. Right? God's the teacher, and at the end of the day, he's the creator, he's the maker. He made the test. Why would he give you the answer? If he wants you to pass, he wants to see, are you listening? Are you paying attention? Have you learned? Just trust me. Trust what he told you. Trust in the book. Trust in the word. And just move. You already know what to do. How many times in our lives do we have the answer to the question that we want answered? I bet you a lot of them, you know? All you got to do is move. And sometimes you got to move afraid. You got to move scared. And that's okay. And I'm not afraid to admit there's a couple of things that I'm scared of to move with, you know? But I'm still moving. Because if I let that fear dictate me, then where would my life be if I did? And even if I'm in a bad spot, right? Or even if I'm going down the wrong path, I trust God that I'm going to get on the right path. And I trust my faith that I can pray my way out of that situation. You got to trust it too. Who do you want to be in the silence? Who do you want to be in the silence? All you got to do is move. That's all I got, man. Proud of you guys. And if you guys made it this far, I appreciate it, because Lord knows I haven't done one of these in a minute. And I'm not gonna lie, like, it's kind of nervous at first, you know. I guess to see if I I still got that spark and still got that energy, but as I was just saying, the silence. Sometimes you gotta move when you don't know. Sometimes you gotta turn on the camera and you don't know what to say fully. And I've been thinking about this podcast for a minute now. And what to say and feeling it and waiting for the spirit to really fill me up to let it all go. And today's the one day where I really didn't feel like, it's not that I didn't feel like making a podcast. It's just where I would say I didn't really feel that extra oomph behind me and what I wanted to say. But then as I started talking, it started to come out. And that's God. And that's the definition of all you got to do is move. Just take the step. You can be who you want to be as long as you take a step. The silence isn't going to last forever. You take enough steps, you're going to get a response. All you got to take is one. And then another. Famous movie, Rocky. One step at a time, one punch at a time, one round at a time. Listen, I'm a movie freak. You know, I like to quote movies. I love movies because they're one of the most powerful things to me, because the ability to portray emotion and capture scenes and just it's art, you know. But take it one day at a time. You don't gotta think 5 years ahead. Like, it's good to, you know, have dreams. I'm not saying that. But in the end of the day, going back to what I said, you gotta be where your feet are. If you stuck 5 years ahead and you're not where your feet are, it's gonna catch up to you. Then you're gonna realize, oh shoot, I just missed 5 years of my life trying to get to this goal. And then you get to that goal and then you're like, God dang, I can't fully enjoy it because I didn't appreciate where I was to get to where I need to be, to get to where I am. But thank God that you're awake. I want to do something different. I want to pray with you guys. If you made it this far, again, I want to pray with you guys. All right? Let's do something different here. Lord God, thank you for this day. Thank you for your many blessings, Lord. And just thank you for whoever's listening to this, Lord, and whoever made it this far. I ask that you just bless them and be with them and through whatever they're going through, Lord. And just, I ask that you shine your light upon them, Lord. And just, I ask that you be with them through every single circumstance that they're going through, and allow them to understand that you're stronger than their worst thought, Lord, and you're stronger than the devil, Lord, and you created him and he can't move without your say-so, Lord. Give them the spirit and the confidence to just move, Lord. There's no reason to wait, Lord. You got them. Lord, just let them know that they're loved, and let them know that you're right there, Lord, and allow them to take out the headphones and open their eyes to see you right there, Lord, and see that you've been waiting with open arms and a smile on your face, Lord. Thank you for all that you've done, Lord, and just thank you. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. That's for you guys. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good afternoon, good morning, good night. All right.